All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a super fascinating astrological placement, Jupiter in the third house. We're going to take the core insights from our source material and frame them as a story, really a blueprint, about becoming the ultimate helpful neighbor. So think about the ingredients here. Jupiter is the planet of massive expansion, abundance, and, deep philosophical wisdom. And the third house? That governs the realm of everyday communication, our immediate surroundings, and our local neighbors. So what happens when you drop the planet of massive growth right into the house of daily chats over the fence? Well, if you've ever wondered how this expansive energy actually manifests locally, you are in the exact right place. Let's get right into it.
So what makes a truly eloquent neighbor? We're going to explore exactly how communication and local connections, driven by the astrological power of this specific Jupiter placement, foster both personal and community growth. It's not just about waving while taking out the trash. It's about how your everyday interactions literally shape your reality, turning standard neighborly behavior into something way more impactful.
Section 1. The power of wise words. Let's look closely at how your everyday communication has an immediate, real-world effect on the people right around you.
The absolute core of this placement is that you gain respect through wise communication. It is not about being the loudest voice in the room or, dominating the neighborhood association meetings with trivial stuff. The respect you earn isn't demanded. It's a direct result of communicating with real, profound wisdom. See, because Jupiter brings this big picture perspective to even the most mundane everyday chats, your words just carry a distinct weight. People sense that you aren't just reacting to the heat of the moment, you're thinking about the broader implications. It's that thoughtfulness that totally sets you apart.
And as a result of that intentional communication, your words inspire deep trust in local circles. Think about when a neighbor comes to you totally stressed out about a local dispute, or maybe a nearby friend confides in you about a sudden personal setback. You don't just offer generic sympathy, right? You offer profound perspective. For example, if a friend is panicking about a sudden career change, you might give them the wise advice to look at how their past risks always paid off, helping them see the forest for the trees. To really build trust with nearby friends, it comes down to three things: acting as a stabilizing voice during conflicts, lending a genuine hands-on hand when they need a favor, and organically offering that big-picture wisdom when tensions run high. You basically become the reliable anchor in your local circle.
But wait, navigating this local influence requires a super careful balance between giving advice and practicing active listening. True eloquence isn't just speaking beautifully. It's knowing exactly when to close your mouth and yield the floor. Here's a specific tip for this placement. Before unleashing your Jupiter-sized wisdom, just ask the person, hey, do you want advice right now or do you just need to vent? Sometimes the absolute most helpful thing you can do for a friend or neighbor is just hold space for their frustration without trying to fix it immediately. Actually, mastering that distinction between giving advice and just actively listening is exactly how you maintain that hard-earned trust.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, building a supportive community. Once that foundational trust is set, let's see how the neighborhood actually reacts to your presence.
When you look at the community impact, a remarkably clear pattern emerges. Neighbors naturally seek your advice. You become a positive voice in community matters, your helpful nature strengthens relationships, and you attract really supportive local connections. By operating this way, your helpful nature acts like a giant magnet. You draw people in and literally become the glue holding your local network together, transforming just a collection of houses into a true community. And this highly organic, unforced dynamic just bleeds into everyday life. Neighbors often seek your advice completely naturally. It's like when a friend casually brings up a difficult dilemma while you're both out walking the dogs. Or maybe a neighbor asks for your take on a complex zoning issue while you're chatting over the fence. You don't have to put a sign in your yard advertising yourself as the neighborhood guru. Jupiter's warm, expansive influence does all the heavy lifting for you, making your doorstep the natural gathering place for anyone seeking clarity.
Now, this is definitely not a one-way street. By consistently putting out positive communication, you attract similarly supportive and friendly local connections right back to yourself. It's that classic rule, like attracts like. Your local community influence grows exponentially through this kind talk, creating this beautiful, self-sustaining ecosystem of goodwill. You aren't just pouring energy into an empty cup. The universe channeling right through this third house placement surrounds you with people who are just as eager to support and uplift you in return.
Bringing us to Section 3, growth through mentorship. Finally, let's explore how this outward focus on the neighborhood actually leads to some profound inward, personal development. Through these ongoing, everyday local interactions, something incredibly empowering happens. strong teaching or mentoring abilities organically develop. You transition from just being a friendly face on the block to becoming a trusted local mentor. And mentoring neighbors builds lasting personal growth. Whether you're patiently explaining a complex community initiative to a confused neighbor or, helping a local kid figure out a difficult life path, you are simultaneously sharpening your own mind. Every single lesson you impart helps clarify your own understanding of the world.
This sets off a beautiful chain reaction in your life. Step 1, sharing your knowledge freely. Step 2, experiencing profound personal growth by organizing those thoughts. And step 3, gaining outward recognition. Basically, the generous act of sharing what you know doesn't deplete your resources, it multiplies them. Your local environment becomes a classroom where sharing knowledge directly fosters personal recognition and deep respect for the wisdom you bring to the table. And the tangible payoff here is undeniable. Opportunities come directly through this communication and networking. Because you've mastered the balance of speaking wisely and listening closely, people naturally want to collaborate with you. They want to recommend you. Doors organically open, and real career or personal opportunities flow right through the local communication networks you've nurtured. By being the eloquent neighbor, you are essentially building your own bridge to future success. As we wrap up this explainer, take a second to reflect on your own local impact. Jupiter in the 3rd house offers this incredible astrological invitation to step fully into the role of the eloquent neighbor. It shows us that true growth happens locally, through wise words, active listening, and a genuinely helpful spirit. So I'll leave you with this final thought. How will you use your wise words to empower your neighborhood today? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep learning.